with a chosen family, something that I love is that you choose each other. You know, that's not the way it works with family that is
Yeah.
your blood. So that's a really beautiful thing that I'm doing currently. Like if I meet someone, I think they're great. I like the way that they're treating me. They're respecting my boundaries.
You're
You
now
could be
my
my
son.
yeah. You could be my daughter.
You could be my stepson,
You my stepson,
my cousin.
my cousin. You know, like there's some openings for sure. And I
The
wanna
limit doesn't exist.
the limit does not exist. Welcome to Friends with Benefits, the podcast where we choose curiosity over judgment. I'm the always sensational Quai.
And I'm the always living on the edge Ty. And we are more than best friends, exploring life, love, and self-discovery, asking the questions most people are afraid to. So whether you are here to feel seen, inspired, or just rethink what relationships can look like, we are your Friends with Benefits.
On today's episode, we're talking about loving your family versus actually liking them, walking away from the people who hurt you, yes, even if they share the same last name. Plus, we're going to be spilling some vulnerable tea about our own family dynamics.
Thanks for letting us know.
I always will.
How are you feeling about this topic today?
This topic is something that I definitely want to talk about, but definitely not the easiest thing to talk about as well. So I'm ready, but a little bit nervous. I didn't just decide to talk about this stuff lightly by any means.
Yeah. What's making you nervous?
Just the public perception, I feel like it's like, oh, I love my family. And if you're not talking to someone in your family member, you're evil, you're cruel, like what's wrong with you, right?
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I want to talk about this because there's different sides to that. It doesn't mean because you're not speaking to a family member that or family members that you don't value family, for example. And
Of course.
every situation's unique and different, and what's right is what you believe is right.
Couldn't say it any better.
Yeah.
No. I'm proud of you for the decision to speak about this. I understand that it's difficult, and we're put in this position to kind of make those choices because of our mission and because of our goals, and we want to share our stories with you so that if you're going through something similar, that it can provide some clarity, some insight. Maybe you're thinking about it in a way that you never have before. And yeah, because that's what's happened with us. Like we're big podcast fans, and the lessons and the knowledge that we have learned from some of them have changed the course of our lives. And we have that responsibility here. Like we said, it's not easy. It's a little nerve-wracking at times, but how we are as people, we are treating everything with respect and being as gracious as possible. But at the end of the day, we've lived lives, we've experienced things, some of it being traumatic, and it's had a great impact on us. And we want to just share what that impact has been and how we navigate it and deal with it in hopes that it might be of service to all of you.
Well said.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about this episode in general?
I am feeling ready, and I know that this episode is a bit more you, and I'm ready to be here to support and contribute and kind of let you steer the ship and help out as best as I can and offer my own input where possible and where I feel it fits, but ready overall.
I love it. That's why I love you, kid.
I love
That's
you too.
awesome. Okay. I guess let's just start with talking about what it means to actually set boundaries with family without feeling like a villain. So I feel what that means is you have the same DNA. That's a fact. That's cool. That's not an excuse for the boundaries that you've set being broken
Crossed.
or crossed. It also means, or it actually, I would say it means asking the question of, do I feel respected? Do I feel cared for? Is this a relationship I want to have, regardless of the fact that we have the same last name, regardless of the fact that I see you every single year at Christmas and for X amount of events? You're putting to the side anything that is facts in terms of things that you couldn't control. You don't control who your family ends up being.
Yeah.
And you're just looking more at your circumstances, how you feel with that individual, and if you want to have them in your life or not. And with that, just not feeling guilty about the way that you feel.
Yeah, when it comes to family, an important question to ask yourself is I if we weren't related, if we
Ooh,
didn't have the same, if we didn't share the same blood and last name, would I choose to have a relationship with you? It's pretty eye-opening because sometimes that is the case where you're like, I wouldn't choose this based on how I'm being treated. So, because we don't get to choose our families, and if we happen to be in a situation that is unpleasant, uncomfortable, um, and we're trying our best to express feelings, set boundaries, and those aren't respected, then it kind of puts you in a tough position because, like, it's different than an acquaintance or a friend that you can easily cut off or remove from your life. I'm not saying you can't remove a family member from your life. It's just a little bit different, a little bit more difficult, I would say.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say something that I definitely want to share because this has helped me a lot is you're never stuck, right? Like you have the option, you have the choice. If something is not bringing you joy, not bringing you peace, if you're not feeling like you're being treated the way that you deserve to be treated, then you can walk away from that. Just because you are related to someone doesn't mean that it's an automatic connection where you like that person. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I have some family members that I don't necessarily like their personality, to be honest. Um and with that being said, because I don't like their personality, I don't need to be around you. It's not that I need to be around you because we have this DNA connection because I'm your family, right? Um yeah, I think family is a amazing thing. I believe in family. I value family very much. But at the same time, you can't choose them. So you're never stuck. You can always make that choice for yourself.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I know that from time to time, like you'll get questions, or no, you'll get comments from people that who basically are projecting
Oh
their
yeah.
their views on how you're supposed to be with your family onto you. So, for example, if you're not speaking to somebody and they know that, then they're like, "Oh, you gotta, you should. They're your family," but they have
Yeah.
no idea what's gone on in your relationship. So you can't really be speaking to that
No.
just because in your mind it's like, oh, no matter what happens, your family, you have to be together and be in each other's lives.
Yeah. That is false. That is false. And here's what I'll say. I understand if someone has an amazing family. I'm so happy for that person. And I think when they're saying that to me, they're thinking about their own experience
Yeah.
and completely disregarding mine and not even asking
Not
me,
even being curious
not
about
even being
yours.
curious to
They're
even say,
assuming.
hey, what is the situation? What did something happen? Whatever. Did they eat your last cookie? Nothing. It's just that automatic, oh, well, that's your family. You should be speaking to them. And I'll say on the other maybe side of this is I have friends who have lost family members and my heart my heart goes out to them, and it's such a that's a very unfortunate thing to happen. I also believe with that that has is that projection of, oh, I wish I could speak to that person one last time. I wish we had a better relationship. And with that, I really appreciate that care. I really do. Um it's just everybody's individual choice to make based on what they've gone through and their circumstances.
Absolutely. Good.
Yeah. I guess I'll
Sorry, go
just
ahead.
share, no worries, my personal journey on navigating distance with a parent. Um it that's what I'm currently not speaking to one of my parents, and that was my choice. That being said, I did not make that decision lightly. It wasn't something that I just woke up and said, "Hey, not going to talk to this parent today." Took me a lot of time to get to this point. It took a lot of therapy. And it also took a lot of trust in myself. I had to trust that I knew what was best for me because I do. And I was questioning that because it is apparent, and just that word and that value that that has for me, it's very large. Um, I'm very grateful for the things that I've gotten from my parents and them raising me and taking care of me. Me making the decision to not have contact right now has nothing to do with that. I'm not ungrateful. It's just what is good for me at this moment. And they could also make that decision. We both have that choice. If they don't want to be speaking to me, I have to accept that. And I also would be doing some reflection as to why that happened and why they feel that way, right?
Yeah.
Um, but no, that's currently what I'm doing right now. And with that, I would say there's sad feelings about it. You have a certain occasion that happens. You start a podcast with your best friend, and I feel that would be something I would go and tell my parent, right? You want their support, you want them to know what you're up to. And that's just not the case for me at the moment. And that's okay. I do feel peace as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I'm happy that we're discussing this. And how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You're being really supportive, and I'm so happy that I'm having this conversation with you and our friends.
Yes, our friends. Are you comfortable sharing a little bit more about sort of what you've experienced through that relationship that kind of led to you making that decision for
Yeah.
yourself?
Yeah, and thank you for asking me. I'll name a couple of things. I would say one of them is feeling like I couldn't have a conversation. I'm a very curious person, and I want to know why you're feeling that way. I want to validate your feelings. I don't want to gaslight you. Um, I want to have a conversation. I don't think that a disagreement or a conflict equals a bad conversation. I think that we could work it out, um, provided we both feel the desire to do that and we're both willing to try. I felt like there wasn't a willingness to try to have a conversation, and it was just, I would say for a sentence, and it was just
Defensiveness?
defensiveness. And it was making me question, like, am I okay? Because I'm just trying to have this conversation, and it'd be met with these like accusations that I just believe were completely false. And then like my message is getting lost. I'm just trying to tell you that you ate my last Snickers bar and I'm hungry. And it's like, you're ungrateful, you're disrespectful. And it's like, now I have to defend that. And I don't believe that,
Yeah.
but I hear you and I want to understand. It was getting extremely difficult to just speak and be heard when I felt like I was doing that for that person and they just had no desire to hear me out. It's that was really difficult.
Did you find yourself continuously trying to the
Yes.
point, or did you ever, I was going to say, did you ever like stop asking or trying to have conversations because you realized it was getting you nowhere?
Yeah, I would say I continue to try, but I definitely tried less. I learned from like a young age that, I this is not something that's gonna always happen when I want it to. When they want it to, it has to happen,
Yeah,
regardless if I'm ready or not.
of course.
But of course. But when it does happen, let's say the four times that I want to happen, it happens one of those times. That's the ratio. It might not go the way that I'm hoping it does because there's a lot of defensiveness, and I would say um, maybe like a lack of awareness, emotional intelligence, um,
Respect.
respect, respect, and also I would say just the notion and the belief that respect is should just be given,
Like owed.
just owed, just because of this title, you know. Regardless of like what you've done to me last week, today, I just need to give you that respect because you just deserve it
Because
automatically,
you're a parent,
just because you're a
because
parent.
you're the elder in the
Yeah.
relationship,
Mm-hmm. And like who has control over that situation? Not me. You do,
because they had you.
because you had me, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting for sure. I would also say something that led me to this decision was just um overall just the feeling like I wasn't necessarily being cared for. I have a really big heart and I love really hard and I understand that not everyone loves the same. That's okay. And that's actually a beautiful part of the world, to be honest. If everyone loved the same, I think it'd be a little boring. But literally just feeling like I was not cared for. I don't think that's something that you should have to question in relationships, and if it is, you have a choice you can make, right? And then specifically with a parent, that's tough. Like feeling that you're not cared for. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying there was no care, it just was not meeting the level of my standard. And also like what I was seeing around me, I'm really lucky that I have you as a bestie and I love your parents. They're very kind to me and they've been really supportive to me and I wasn't getting that from my own parent and that was um it was beautiful for me to see you have that. I love that you have that. I wouldn't have it any other way. It just made me kind of look at my own situation and say, "Oh, wow, that's quite a difference." You know?
Yeah, I can imagine what that would feel like to kind of make that comparison
Yeah.
and see that stark contrast of the not even just looking at how I'm treated, but how you're being
How I'm
treated
treated.
from your friend's parent
Yeah.
or parents.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can imagine that's, as happy as you are for me, that deep down it's probably super sad and
Yeah.
difficult to, because then you're just like probably asking like, why not me?
Yeah. And I mean, I focus more on like the gratitude part of it. Like I love when your mom gives me hugs and asks me how I'm doing and tells me that she likes my hair.
Has she said
Yeah, I'm like, joke's on you. It's a wig. It changes every other day. I don't know if
that?
she's noticing or not, but she likes all my wigs and I appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm focusing more on the part of like, okay, you know what? I'm not getting it from my parent, but I'm getting it from a parent, and I'm extremely grateful for that.
I'm glad,
Yeah.
but also sad.
Aw, babe, it's okay.
Yeah. What kind of, because like this isn't only recent, right?
No.
Like, has it been like the sort of mistreatment? Is that as far back as you can remember? Like,
It
tell me more about that.
Yeah, it wasn't always as bad or as frequent. Like it kind of went in waves, right? And I also just want to say that like this parent, I believe that they were doing the best that they could with the resources that they have available to them. Whatever, like their toolbox, they're using those tools. Are they using them correctly? I don't think so, and I think they need more tools in that toolbox. Go to Home Depot. Um, but it's been happening, and I would say with getting older, with having conversations, with seeing different family dynamics, it just became clear to me, I with a lot of self-love, with a lot of just deep thought. Um, but no, it has been going on for a while, and I'm a very loyal person. I wanted to stay loyal to the soil. I wanted to just like, this is my parent. I have to be here with them all the time. I have to support them this way. I have to speak with them for the entirety of my life. That's what you're supposed to do as a kid and as a good kid. Um, and I was realizing that I was being loyal to a fault. I don't think that loyalty was being given to me, to be honest. And I was just so hung up on this um characteristic of loyalty. And I decided that I need to be loyal to myself. And I'm a loyal person to myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
How did you, like you mentioned, like a lot of self-love? Like, what would be like an example of showing yourself love through these difficult times?
Breath work, like breathing and like being grateful for my breath and using it in situations where I felt scared or alone or unseen. Just giving myself that calm nervous system, regulating my nervous system. Um, that has helped me greatly with showing myself love. Also, giving myself the things that I was so desperately seeking and wanting. So I'm a very affectionate person, and like this parent is not. So I love physical touch, right? So I would go and get a massage
Mm.
because I could give myself that thing
You weren't getting.
that I wasn't getting. Um and then also just like reminding myself who the F I am. Just because I'm being treated in a way that I don't believe I should be getting treated, and I'm treating this person the way that I want to be treated, I'm not going to change who I am. I know who I am. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on that. And because I'm X, Y, and Z, that's not why this is happening to me. Really just strengthening my self concept and reminding myself that I am an amazing person just because I'm in this not so amazing situation. Like, I don't deserve any of this.
No, you don't.
Mm-mm.
No, and for somebody who's so loving and giving and has
Yeah.
the biggest heart, it's it's sad to hear that you've dealt with that for so long, and then
Yeah.
to witness it firsthand as your friend, um, and then you know trying to navigate as your best friend, like how to support you, but it's like your family and your parent, and typically people aren't going to get in the middle of that. But at the same time, going back to what I said at the beginning, it's like asking yourself the question, would I have a relationship with this person if they weren't my family? It's like, okay, do I just stand idly by while somebody is mistreating my best friend? Like just at face value, no. So it's like, trying to still respect those boundaries, but then having that inclination to support and defend because like you're still my best friend, so like just because it's a family member, I have to, shut up and not do anything. So nice breath work.
Breath work. Yeah, I would say I appreciate you saying that. You've been doing a really amazing job. I know that is not an easy position to play, and your support has been absolutely amazing. You have done everything you possibly can, and you have been the hero that I never had. So, yeah, you're doing a good job. You're doing a great job, actually.
Happy you feel that way.
Yeah.
So after you made the decision for yourself to sort of move forward, let's just say independent. Like I know it's not like you're gone and then life's great.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the feelings that you had kind of moving and transitioning into that new chapter?
A lot of guilt. You feel very guilty.
Okay.
Because this is your parent, and I am extremely grateful. Like, thank you for changing my diapers. I don't think I could have done that on my own, to be honest. If I could have, maybe I would
I
have.
still can't.
Oh my God. But I appreciate all the things that you have done for me. This decision is not in spite of that. Like, I really thank you.
Like you're aware.
I'm aware
Like
that you've helped me and that you've raised me. Um, this like it doesn't give an automatic pass to the rest of my life though. You need to treat me with respect, and I need to treat you with respect. And if our needs and our wants are not being met, and if our boundaries are being crossed and completely dismissed, we both have that choice that we can make, you know? Um with that being said, I'm saying that to you. I'm saying that to our friends, but the feeling of guilt is not something that goes away. I feel it every single day when I see people with their parents, or I hear that a friend had someone who had a parent who passed away. It's gut wrenching for me.
yeah.
But with that guilt and with that grief, to be honest, I do also feel a sense of peace. And I'm really proud of myself for choosing myself and for continuing to choose myself every single day with holding firm on that decision, regardless of the fact that I want to call this parent because I finally learned how to do a cartwheel in my 30s. It took a long time, but I want to let you know.
And I just want to add that like I know that we're being delicate with this subject and trying to be as respectful as possible. So and I respect that decision on your part. What Quay is talking about in terms of what, when she's saying boundaries being crossed, when I'm saying mistreatment, it's not light. So if you're thinking, oh, you had some disagreements with your parent and then you just left, like, don't be doing that because it's a lot more serious than we're letting on. And Quay has expressed that it was an incredibly difficult decision to do this. It was almost like a survival decision. Like there was no other choice because the stress that you have gone through and the turmoil, like it's not sustainable. And like I know what stress does to you, and like you just kept getting sick and sicker and sicker while still being in that environment. So it's like if you didn't do this, like I'm not sure what that looks like, what the outcome looks like. So, you made a hard choice. You're experiencing guilt and grief, of course, but like you needed that peace for survival, and to remember that like you have a life to live, and like you don't have to do anything for that parent. You've already done the most, and you're still receiving this type of treatment, which is super unfair. And I'm really proud of you for making that decision. And, I was happy to help in whatever way I could with that transition for you. And I just wanted better for you. Bottom line, like, I love you, I care about you. So, any of the defending or supporting, it's all just because I hated seeing you like that and be treated that way.
I know, babe, and I appreciate you saying that. I never doubted it for a second. I knew everything that you did with love, you did it with care. You wanted everybody involved to be in a better situation. You wanted everyone to feel peace and happiness and enjoy this one life that we have. Like life is too short to be going through this bullshit, and we can work together. Not we don't have to work against each other. We can, and we have, and we did, and we are, but we don't have to do that. We have that choice. Um, I have a health condition that gets really bad when I'm stressed out. And when I'm talking about lack of care, I'm not saying give me a free pass. I'm going to be an asshole to you 24/7. And like, just because I have a health condition, you can't say anything, you can't do anything, you can't tell me that I'm wrong. It was not that. I wish that that would have been taken into consideration more. I do not believe that it was. That being said, I'm going to be accountable on my part of it. I'm not someone who necessarily shares when I'm not feeling great, and I don't necessarily speak a ton about you know,
Your health condition.
my health condition. You know that the stress is gonna maybe make me go into a flare up, right? I don't say that. I wish it was just
You don't have to
thank
with
you.
the person who birthed you.
Yeah.
Like, I would understand that would make sense with a friend,
Yeah.
because if you haven't shared that, or if like they didn't spend their whole life with you, then they might not know. So that it's like even worse.
Oh my god, right?
Like that they're not aware enough that what they're saying and doing and their actions, how that's affecting you not only as a person but as a person who can't take on any more stress, like health wise.
Yeah.
So that's like infuriating.
It was. It
Like
was.
a lack of awareness, a lack of care, a lack of respect. It's almost like it was completely forgotten everything that you go through, and one that you're their daughter, one that you have a stress induced health condition, and that you're supposed to show love and respect to your kid. So fuck.
I know. A little crazy. I yeah, I have to say the freedom that I'm feeling right now is just so amazing. Like I actually feel free. I feel like I was in jail. What crime did I commit? I don't know. It would probably be public nudity. But I didn't do that, or I didn't get caught. And I feel like I've literally been released from like a prison.
Wow.
I know. I know. It's not even dramatic. I'm a dramatic person. That's not even dramatic. That's what I feel like.
That's intense.
It's intense, right?
Like, I'm just letting that sink in.
Yeah.
To feel like you are living in a prison, both physically and just being like having a relationship
Yeah.
with your parent, felt like prison.
Yeah. I didn't always feel that way, and I had glimmers Like, I'm sure sometimes prison has good meals. I don't know. Like, I there were glimmers of hope. It wasn't a constant, but it was enough, you know?
And I think because of those lows, it's like probably the glimmers that you're talking about. I don't know everything. I don't know your whole entire life, but I feel like because the things that you went through were so traumatic that it's almost like you're latching onto those glimmers as little moments of relief
Mhm.
from the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, there was a lot of bad, but like they also like did so much good and they showed so much love and care. Like it was probably just less bad,
Yeah.
you know?
That's very true. It's factual. I like to choose to focus because I have the choice to focus on the positive as much as possible. What happened happened, but in terms of like the lens that I'm going to choose to look at the situation from are clear ones. They have little flowers on the side of them. They're oversized because I like that look.
Are they Quai brand?
They're Quai brand, yes. I love those glasses. Yeah, those are some good glasses. But no, I'm choosing to look at the positives in it and be grateful that I'm no longer in it. And I try not to dwell too much on the past. And it makes me feel extremely grateful for the choice of being able to choose my own family. Like I grew up and I got a family handed to me, and I do love my family. I just don't all I don't like everybody in my family.
Or you
Um
don't like how they've treated you?
or how they've treated me, right? Um but with the choice to
Build your own?
build my own essentially with my chosen family, that is something that I am extremely grateful for, something that I do not take for granted. You're my chosen family. And with a chosen family, something that I love is that you choose each other. You know, that's not the way it works with family that is
Yeah.
your blood. So that's a really beautiful thing that I'm doing currently. Like if I meet someone, I think they're great. I like the way that they're treating me. They're respecting my boundaries.
You're
You
now
could be
my
my
son.
Yeah, you could be my daughter.
You could be my stepson,
You could be my stepson,
my cousin.
my cousin. Like there's some openings for sure. And I
The
want
limit
to
doesn't exist.
The limit does not exist. And I also want to acknowledge, like, growing up, I had such amazing chosen family in my life with like daycare teachers, like healthcare providers, bosses, mentors, amazing friends.
You had healthcare providers in your chosen family?
Yeah, because I was a sick kid. So
Oh shit,
yeah,
yeah.
I had a lot of the nurses there were incredible, and the doctors. So they took care of me.
Nice.
Um, I would change my breakfast order like 6 times, and they would just be like, "Okay, you
That
get the French
tracks.
toast."
See, you've
Yeah.
never changed that?
What?
I said that tracks. I can see
I
that
know.
that's never changed.
I'm the same. But no, these people have played such an amazing and such a pivotal role in my life and shaping me to be the person that I am today. And I can't say thank you enough to those human beings. If I ever win the lottery, I'm giving you something. You're getting your fries supersized. And no, that helped my childhood tremendously.
I'm so happy that you've had such a wide variety of chosen family
I
members
know.
over the course of your life and continue to open your arms to more and just be open-minded to more. I love the concept of a chosen family, and just because I have not gone through what you've gone through, like I have one too. I have people who are a part of my chosen family, people that I've become friends with, people who are mentors, like, all the things that you said, except probably healthcare providers, because don't have any healthcare provider friends, and I wasn't really in the hospital. But it's really nice because the word is choosing, Like you're making that choice based on how you are aligned, how you click, how you connect, um, how you love one another, how you support one another. And I think it's, more than just some fancy buzzword. I think it's just a necessity for everyone. Like we all need love. We all need support. Um, there's always room for more. And especially if there is a bit of that lacking in your life, then yeah, a chosen family is 100% something that you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone deserves love. And just because that's not what was given to you circumstantially, like you can go ahead and do that for yourself. Like you have the opportunity to do that for yourself and you can give yourself that gift and someone else, right?
Hmm.
Um so powerful, so awesome.
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 One other thing I wanted to add, and it's something that we chat about sometimes, and you in particular say it. You're like, "Oh, we can just all be a big family,"
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's kind of like breaking down some of the structures that kind of separate us. So, you have your family over here, you've got your friends here, you've got your romantic relationship here, you've got your coworkers here. And I think we're similar in that regard where if we can merge them all and it works, or we don't have to merge them all, but like there's a little bit from each that, and like now we're all sort of connected in a way. It's really beautiful. And I think that's why I'm always drawn to movies that have an ensemble group that are like a bunch of different misfits, kind of different personalities coming together and then finding their way to actually connecting and then, going to some destination or some hitting some goal. And I think that's just because I find it very appealing, and it's like, wow, that's really beautiful, and it's beautiful when it happens in real life, and we're doing that.
Yeah. We're building like a family of Avengers,
Ooh.
right? We love Marvel and yeah, no, that's what I feel like we're a bunch of people coming together regardless of like whatever the title is there and we're blending if we all choose to do that and it's just I know we said beautiful a lot but it's honestly it's very beautiful. I'm very grateful for that.
I you know what, I'm just spitballing here, but I would have to say that it's also like, in a sense, beautiful. You know, it's really beautiful.
I've never heard that word before.
Which one?
Beautiful.
I'm sure you get it a lot.
Aw.
Before we go, it is time for Curiosity Continued, the part of the show where we continue our curiosity, pose a question, and tackle it as a chosen family. So, if you could say one thing to a family member you're no longer close with, without consequences, without drama, what would you say?
I would say,
And I'll just let you kind of handle this one.
yeah. Why did you borrow my sweater and not give it back? No, I'm checking. I would say choose yourself every single day and whatever that looks like, I respect it. I'm doing that for myself and I hope you can understand. I also want to say that love is a gift and I'm going to love you from very, very far away,
Far from home?
far from home.
Well said, kid.
Thank you.
I hope that message is received.
Me too.
Thank you for being brave and for sharing today and for this conversation. I appreciate it very much, your vulnerability. And thank you, friends, for listening and watching. The benefits don't stop here. You can follow me at Ty Dasberg on all platforms.
And me at the Only Quai on all platforms as well.
I thought you were going to say at the OnlyFans.
Oh my God, the OnlyFans is up and running. Follow that too.
See you next time.